What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Dude Hine Show. On this video, I am live on YouTube like every single video I do. Today is April 21st, 2021, and I'm continuing my series of doing a 7-round mock draft for each NFL team. I just got finished doing the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. So this video is the Los Angeles Chargers. And we'll go ahead and get started here with this Los Angeles Chargers post-free agency 7-round mock draft. They picked 13th overall, and with the 13th pick overall, I have the Chargers taking offensive tackle Rashaan Slater. The Chargers, if Rashaan Slater ends up here, he has to be the pick. I believe, according to PFF, no Chargers offensive lineman last season had a better PFF grading than 66 overall, which is absolutely horrendous. They actually had a worse offensive line last season than the Cincinnati Bengals did. Getting Rashaan Slater here is 100% best case scenario for the Chargers. There's no chance Penei Sewell is going to drop to 13, but it is a possibility if Rashaan Slater, and maybe he can drop to 13. But this is great. I mean, you got Corey Linsley, in my opinion, the best free agency signing in the offseason. You got Rashaan Slater, the offensive tackle. You pair him on the offensive line. You're starting. That's major upgrades to the offensive line. So you can protect your young quarterback and Justin Herbert, and hopefully, he won't get hurt. Like this past season, Joe Burrow did. With a bad offensive line with the Cincinnati Bengals. So let's go to round 2 here. I have him taking Ole Miss wide receiver Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is probably the best route runner in the draft, and I think this would be a really nice pick here. They can use some more depth at wide receiver. Keenan Allen's getting up there in age. He's still pretty good, but he's getting older. Mike Williams is inconsistent, so I would really like to see them maybe get a wide receiver in the first couple of rounds. So I think Elijah Moore, if he's there in a second, I really think the Chargers should be drafting him with the 47th pick overall. So far, these picks have been phenomenal picks for the Chargers in the first 2 rounds. As we go to the round 3, they actually have 2 third-round picks. So with their first third-round pick, they said that Georgia guard Ben Cleveland. This is another A-plus pick for the Chargers. I mean, you're getting team needs and players who are going to be one of the best players available here. You got Rashaan Slater, you got Ben Cleveland, and then you signed Linsley in the offseason. Your offensive line went from horrible to really, really good, really, really quick. That's a fantastic pick there. He's probably going to be the best guard available. I don't know if Tennessee guard Trey Smith will be there or not, but if he is, I would probably still take Ben Cleveland because, Trey Smith's medical issues are kind of a concern. But Ben Cleveland with a 77th pick overall is fantastic for the LA Chargers. Like I mentioned, they have 2 third-round picks. So with their second third-round pick, they take Syracuse corner Troy Williams. I think they can use some more help at corner, and Troy Williams to me is a very underrated corner. It's very interesting because Troy Williams is one of those corners who's actually a very, very good tackler. That is not something you see often in today's NFL. They're more trying to just get the ball and not good tacklers. But Troy Williams, he tackles like he's a safety or a linebacker. Very, very impressive with him, his big hits and everything. So I think it would be a smart move if Troy Williams is there in the 3rd round that the LA Chargers take the corner from Syracuse. In the 4th round, this may be a bit of a reach, but I like it. I had them take the Chargers take North Texas wide receiver Jalen Darden, and I know I already had them taking a wide receiver and Elijah Moore in the 2nd round, but Jalen Darden to me, him and Elijah Moore would be absolutely phenomenal with Justin Herbert, and also throwing to Austin Eckler in the backfield. Like I said, Keenan Allen's getting up there in age. Mike Williams is very inconsistent. I think I would not be surprised at all, and I think it would be pretty smart if the Chargers would take 2 wide receivers in the early rounds instead of just 1. I think Jalen Darden has potential to be the next Tyreek Hill. They're measurables. They're very comparable to one another. They're very similar in style of play. I really, really like this pick here of Jalen Darden to the Los Angeles Chargers in the 4th round. With their 5th round pick, I really, really like this pick. Looking at this mock draft, I think this may be this is probably the best post-free agency mock drafts I've done for any team so far. In the 5th round, I had the LA Chargers taking Bowling Green tight end Quentin Morris. And I know I have Quentin Morris on my mock drafts quite a bit for the different NFL teams I do mock drafts of. But Quentin Morris to me is just so underrated. And I think he's going to be really good. And I think it's a fantastic pick here in the 5th round because I know some people may say that's a little bit of a reach. But, he's going up draft board. So I think this may be maybe around the 160, 180. Kind of in between that range. I think that may be where we see tight end Quentin Morris go. And with the Chargers losing tight end Hunter Henry to the Patriots, I think it would be a fantastic pick here for Quentin Morris. I mean, you look at some tight ends in the later rounds: Travis Kelce, George Kittle. Both those guys were later round tight ends, and they're stars in the NFL. I'm not saying Quentin Morris will be a star in the NFL, but I would not be surprised at all if Quentin Morris has a very nice, successful career in the NFL. Let's go to the 6th round here. They actually have 2 6th-round picks, and and they have 1 7th-round picks. All 3 of the last 3 picks here I absolutely love. I would give them an A+ grade. So with their first 6th-round pick, they take LSU safety Jacoby Stevens. Derwin James is a top 5 safety in the NFL. I don't think that's really debatable. But he's very inconsistent of staying healthy. Like he's starting to be injury prone. He's been unable to consistently stay on the field. So I think it would be smart to get a nice safety to pair with Derwin James. And safety Jacoby Stevens from LSU is an absolutely great pick here. I don't understand why Jacoby Stevens is so low on some people's boards. But he was up here at the 185th pick overall, and I had to take him. And I think this is a great pick for the LA Chargers. With their second 6th-round pick, I have them taking Louisville running back Javion Hawkins. I know they have Austin Eckler. He was injured some this past season. I think Eckler is one of the more underrated running backs in the NFL. I think they could use a little bit more depth at running back. My 3 favorite running backs in the later rounds are Elijah Mitchell, Javion Hawkins, and Brendan Knox. I think I think really highly of those 3 running backs. And I think it would be kind of smart here for the Chargers to get Javion Hawkins. He's not going to be their starter because they have Eckler, but Eckler's more of a pass catcher than he is getting rushing attempts. But Javion Hawkins here, I think, is a great pick. So like I said, they have 1 7th-round pick, and with their last pick of the draft, I had them taking Coastal Carolina edge rusher Teron Jackson. I know, once again, kind of similar to Quentin Morris, I have Teron Jackson going to a lot of teams when I do each NFL mock draft, but it's just too good to pass up here with a 241st pick overall in the draft. That's almost the point where he's going undrafted. To me, I think Teron Jackson will be really good. I think he's going to be one of the better steals of the draft. This edge rushing class is so talented, and if this was a normal year, I think Teron Jackson could be a 4th or 5th-round pick. But, with this edge rushing class being so talented and kind of being compared to the wide receiver class of last season, that's kind of why you see Teron Jackson being so low on people's boards. But, getting some more depth at edge rusher, I think that's a pretty nice move for the Chargers. And, if it doesn't work out, it's just a 7th-round pick. Honestly, though, if you get Teron Jackson with a 241st pick overall, I think it would work out because I think this pick is absolutely fantastic. This was kind of my LA Chargers post-free agency 7th-round mock draft. I really feel like this was the best post-free agency mock draft I've done for a team so far. They got team needs. They got best player available. I would not be surprised at all if the Chargers are in playoff contention. But this draft would happen. So we'll go over these picks here one more time. In round 1, Rashaan Slater. In round 2, Elijah Moore. In round 3, offensive guard Ben Cleveland. Also in round 3, corner True Williams. As we go to round 4, Jalen Darden, wide receiver from North Texas. Round 5, Bowling Green tight end Quentin Morris. Round 6, LSU safety Jacoby Stevens. Also in round 6, Louisville running back Javion Hawkins. In the 7th round, their last pick of the draft, they take Coastal Carolina edge rusher Teron Jackson. Thank you all so much for listening. If you like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you next time on the Sports Dude Hunt Show.